My sister moved to Los Angeles. There was a moment when we were talking when she said, I moved out here with all these dreams, but it turns out I'm not an actress, I'm just a waitress. I wanted to create a piece of artwork that would reach out to her, or reach out to someone like her in a similar type of situations, offer them some kind of hope. I'm Morley. I'm a street artist based in Los Angeles. I would describe my art as messages, little bits of humor, hope, encouragement. It's vital that we fight the cynic that's inside of us. Somewhere in there's got to be a middle ground where we can acknowledge the hardships of living life, not become handcuffed by that. Growing up in Iowa City, I was always looking for some way to express myself. Being in bands and lyrics were really important to me, and poetry was really interesting to me. And I was really drawn to screenwriting because I just liked being able to tell a story to someone. When I went to New York to major in screenwriting, I kind of thought this is going to be the beginning of me being like an independent filmmaker. One of the things about screenwriting that can be frustrating is that you're making blueprints, and sometimes those blueprints are for buildings that never get built. But then when I got to New York and started meeting all these people, all these exciting different art forms were at my disposal, all of a sudden I realized, I don't need to limit myself in that way. I think all dreamers need to stop every once in a while and say, why am I dreaming this? Why is this my dream? And so I just started getting interested in ways of expressing myself that instead of trying to get people to come to me, that I could go to them, that I could create pieces of art that were injected into their world, something that they could sort of just see as they walked by. It was really exciting and freeing because you didn't need to have a million people give you permission. It went from being a hobby to then all of a sudden when I moved out to LA, I realized how much more gratifying it was, and it kind of took over my world. When I first got started, I always felt sort of self-conscious because so many great street artists are very talented painters. I'm at best a guy who can string some words together. But for me, it felt like, why not lean into that? It took a while for me to kind of get used to the idea that the words were enough. Identify yourself with the things that you feel you're self-conscious about, because then you can own them. I can use the name Morley, which is my middle name, which growing up I was always very embarrassed of. That's the fastest way to create an identity that is unique, is by just embracing the truth of who you are. The primary reason that I started including myself in the artwork was I wanted the messages to be coming from a person. I didn't want them to be coming from a logo or a brand. A lot of the time, the messages were for me first and foremost. They were the kind of thing that if I was walking down the street that I needed to see. Just because I'm the one putting up the messages, it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't struggle, that there's not days when I'm just like, what's the point? A lot of times I try to put that struggle into my work. I want people to know that we're in the trenches together. This true success comes when I can take a complex idea and express it in as brief a way as possible, the kind of sentiment that can be seen when you're driving down the street at 30 miles an hour. Places I'm drawn to are construction walls or boarded up buildings where, when they sell the building, they can take the boards down and no damage has been done. The posters I put up, they're just paper and a biodegradable glue. I'm very comfortable with how temporary my pieces are. If I wasn't comfortable with the fact that they're not going to last very long, I probably wouldn't just use paper and paste. I'd carve marble. I like the idea that it's just there for a little while and that the person that walks by it was lucky enough to see it while it was there. Another thing that's really cool is being able to see other photos that other people have taken of my stuff, and to sort of see wow, I put that up 6 months ago and kind of forgot about it, but apparently it's still there and it looks a little rough, but people are taking pictures and enjoying it. The analogy I often use is artwork in a gallery is like a band playing at a venue, and artwork on the street is like the guy with the guitar in the subway stairwell. One of them just feels a little bit more like, I didn't know this guy was going to be here, but here we are together sharing this moment, and I'm getting to experience something beautiful. There's a magic to that I love being a part of. About a year ago, I had my first child. I mean, I didn't have my first child, my wife did. I helped a little bit. Raising a child in this day and age is definitely a challenge. It's definitely difficult to not become overwhelmed by fear. It's been wonderful to witness the humanity that's kind of just like innate within my child. That it's really helped build in me is just patience. You know, patience with him, patience with myself, realizing what I actually really care about, what I actually really want to convey to this person. I'm less interested in him becoming a Supreme Court justice than I am with him being a nice, kind, generous person. His middle name's Morley too, so maybe one day, you know, he'll take over. To know that that I've given the gift of creative expression to my son. Anything that's in any of the books that I've made or plastered up against, you know, a boarded up building, that my son will learn from that, will grow from that, will hopefully take that and run with it. The promise that tomorrow might just be a little bit better than today. No, don't eat, Mickey.